Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays Vagrus the Riven Realms. We're gonna go back into the tower. We're supposed to try and there's a spell we gotta find that will unlock other parts of the tower. So we're gonna try to do that and then we can go back to Torzeg Shelter. And then maybe we should probably check in on our salt, my cool salt spot. Check in on those people, and then maybe we can go to the Bronze Desert and just kind of haul some of this ivory and tin over there, or maybe what do we need for a lot of marble we could do, because I think I sent all the timber. We had a lot of crystal lamps and prized carpets. I've been slowly giving them workers over time. But I think marble is where the majority of that lies. So let's pick a direction, take your companions. Our people are a little beat up. How beat up are you? 4 is not that bad. 3, yeah, you'll be fine. Oh, not you. You don't get to come unless somebody's injured. That's a new person. While exploring the next several corridors and chambers, you begin to feel as if you are being watched. Then, since the sensation does not pass, indeed it becomes stronger and stronger. Then, turning a corner, you come face to face with the specter of an elven woman. She is wearing the robes of a mage, as well as enchanted jewelry. You and your companions reach for your weapons instinctively, but the specter raises both hands before speaking. Thou should not fear me, Seeker. I mean thee no harm. Nay, quite the contrary. I offer you counsel in this forsaken place. Please, let us avoid hostilities and converse like cultured beings. I would love to have a conversation with a ghost. Since neither she nor your immediate surroundings manifest any sort of threat, you lower your weapons and step closer to the specter, who introduces herself as Preceptor Lelithason. I was once an esteemed teacher in the Tower of Acarius, and a member of the council that governed this place, she tells you in a melodious voice. In the past millennium, most of my former colleagues gave in to insanity and despair, transforming into vengeful spirits. However, I remain. It is oh so seldom that I can converse with visitors such as thee, and so this is a blessed day. You ask her how she seems so coherent and conscious, while the other specters are almost always out to get you. Perhaps it is because I am an elf, born of a noble family exceptionally adept at sorcery, she replies, or perhaps it was luck, or else the will of the gods. But thou art right, Seeker, most of my old colleagues and pupils are suffering. Hark, would thou be willing to listen to a proposition that would help them? You ask her to explain. When the great cataclysm reached the tower, many of us sought refuge in the deeper chambers, Lelithason begins. The Star Garden was chosen as a shelter. Our council sought to place powerful wards around it and seal it with the most potent magic. It was a wise plan, but the cataclysm's thaumaturgical nature subverted the wards and obscured the Star Garden, and so shelter turned into a prison. For I was fortunate, for I was outside the garden when it happened, but so many of us were caught in this terrible trap. They have been there for over a millennium. The mage hangs her head in sorrow. We are dead, Seeker, I know, she says quietly, yet their fate, trapped in that place for so long, without even the hope of ever moving on. It is the cruelest I can imagine, ever since I've been trying to ask for help from visitors such as thee, but so few come here, and so few are willing. You ask her how she is planning to breach the seal. Most of the seals on the tower's wings and districts can be breached by possessing the right key, either a sorcerous object or a particular spell, she replies. The seal on the Star Garden is no exception, although it is impossible to break it from the inside. My colleague, the esteemed High Preceptor Parhassus, kept the secret of unmaking it recorded on a memory crystal. I have since located this item in his office that is deep inside the Crystal Archives, another district, and yet I cannot obtain it, nor any of the keys, as I have lost my bodily form long ago. But thou, Seeker, could find these and bring them to the vestibule where the seals would be broken, one by one. I know thou art looking for something down here too, so it would behoove you to aid us, else thou will never be able to find the right keys, not in 100 years. You will work together, it seems. Very well, Seeker. I knew I could rely on thee. The spectre's solemn expression turns into the faintest of smiles for the first time. Go then, I say, and seek the keys, the spell of opening and the diary of Narma here in the study halls. Those will break the seals on the dormitories and the lecture halls, respectively. Then seek the imbued key of the captain of the honor guard in the dormitories to be able to enter the library. The scepter of the bibliothecarus prefectus is in the lecture halls, and the glyph of the seeker in the library will both be required to break the seal blocking the path into the crystal archives. Once there, thou will have to find the workshop of High Preceptor Paharis and obtain his memory crystal. That is a lot of stuff to do. You take note of these, as you have a hunch that finding all the keys will take a lot of time. Sadly, I cannot accompany thee on this journey. I can barely gather enough strength to appear and converse with thee like this, and I'll need all my power to aid thee in opening the seals. Whenever you find one of the keys, take them to the vestibule. There we shall break each lock so that you can explore more of the tower, Seeker. You tell her that you will do so. Preceptor Lilithason then bows her head slightly. I shall wait for thee in these haunted halls, Seeker, and she says, and then fades into thin air. You wonder what to do next. Well, so we have, 6 things to do. We must find a way to access the Star Garden. You will need to reach the Crystal Archives and find the Memory Crystal. We will claim the spell of opening from the study halls. Claim the diary from the study halls as well. So that's where we are right now. So we might as well keep exploring. Then once we've opened these things, we can get the key from the dormitories and the scepter from the lecture hall, which will then allow us to access the library and the crystal archives. We will gather the glyph from the library to get into the crystal archives, and then the crystal scepter from this guy from the crystal archives and the memory crystal will allow us to get into the Star Garden. I think I understand the flowchart. All right, we will keep exploring. Avoid the peril. We succeeded. Keep exploring. Explore deeper. Your sense of direction is getting muddled. Transient or not, you're still in control, so we will keep going. Others continue upwards, allowing you to view some familiar sight. We've already had this. There's only so many events that happen in the tower. Keep exploring. Aha! Okay, we found something. Entering a large chamber, your attention is immediately drawn to a colossal contraption of epic proportions at the center of the room. All the ingenuity and passion of dwarven engineering made manifest before you. All manner of mechanisms protrude from the great machine, inviting you to explore their purpose and secrets. After doing a cursory sweep of the room to make sure that nothing lurks unseen, you and your companions carefully examine the great machine. There are ample parts here for the taking. Study the contraption with your co-mates to endeavoring to salvage as much as possible through your knowledge of engineering. This doesn't seem like what we're after, but I might as well take the stuff. After a long while spent carefully studying the machine, you and your companions proceed to take it apart with considerable efficiency, caution, and pragmatism. Though the machine's ultimate purpose remains unknown for the time being, your group does reach a level of understanding about it that makes clear one thing. The marvels of dwarven engineering in a bygone era were quite formidable. Indeed, the countless trinkets and mechanisms of value you recover can attest to that. When everything is packed up and ready to be taken from this place, you stare at the machine, wondering if it still fulfills its function. Some of your companions theorize the mass of metal was used as some kind of transmutation device, while others envisage it as a dormant weapon of mass destruction, a combination of runic magic and masterful engineering. Whatever the case, having already spent so long lingering here, you consider your options. Garrett gained loyalty. You begin to feel an eerie sensation. You are confident about getting out, so we will continue to explore. Brace yourselves for combat. 2 balls of light have attacked us. That's not so bad. Although I don't know if I still have the Blessing of Unbinding on me. Uh-oh. Did the game freeze? Uh-oh. Crap! This has happened a couple times to me now, and it never really froze before. So let me pause real quick, and then I'll bring you right back when we've gotten back in. Hello, we are back. Unfortunately, I did not run into the Dwarven machine again, but we did run into combat, so we're gonna fight these two ghosts and a ghost ball. Yeah, I think the Dwarven machine is just like a random positive outcome. And we do have the Blessing of Unbinding. I confirmed that before jumping back in here. Let's throw down the wards. Blocked it. I don't think that matters. Owie. I've been threat assessed. Let's try to take out the shield guy. He seems the most dangerous. He's gotten very far away from Eilani now. Crit for 2 of all the things. He blocked it. An arcane ball. Well, that guy's dead. He's evasive, sneaky little devil. Not that time. Yeah, no Dwarven machinery yet. We might still run into it. But let's explore deeper. Ooh, this is weird. Entering an enclosed space with only one exit, you take a good look around. The walls are adorned with several faded reliefs and candle holders. The reliefs are way too faded to make out what they used to depict. One of your companions ventures a guess that this place might have been some kind of oratory. You look for familiar symbols that would perhaps allude to the elder gods, to no avail. What you do see, however, is that some of the shadows in the recesses of the reliefs and the room itself appear to be moving. Then your co-mates see it as well. The shadows coalesce into tentacle-shaped things that try to reach to you. It is dreadful, yet oddly captivating, almost as if the tentacles were performing a weird dance. You turn around only to see that the menacing shadow tendrils are blocking the way out. Instinctively holding your torches between you and the appendages, you stand back to back, trying to prepare for whatever horrible outcome is approaching. Then, suddenly as they have emerged, the tentacles withdraw, almost as if they had never been there. After a confused and relieved sigh, you do not waste time leaping out of the oratory. As you make your way further into the tower, you are still on edge, not sure if the shadows you see stretch unnaturally, or is it just your affrighted mind playing cruel tricks on you? Ah, we gained shaken. Continue. Combat again. Oh, we've gotten kind of unlucky this time. Just jumping back into the tower and running into a lot of combat. Hey, we hit him. He's dead. Double up the ball attack. He arcane bolted me. And then I've been threat assessed. Poke it. Chop it. No, rats. Shoot it. Hey. I should have shot the other one. Oh well. And then we stab you? I wonder if you could stun those things. Seems unlikely, but you never know. Oh, you goober. At least we got a 1 healing on Gorgoro. That's something. Continue. We didn't even find any residue. Gross. A question forms in your mind. Let's go. Oh, no. We succeeded, thank God. Consider what your next move will be. Continue to explore. You are still confident about getting out, so we'll be okay. Carry on. Whoa, 5 crystal lamps. Heck yeah. Press on. Isolated study chamber where you immediately notice tables littered with countless books. Moving closer to examine the context of the volumes, you realize they are not quite right. Alright, our companions are telling us to go back, so I think it's time to go back. Darn, we didn't find anything useful in there. Okay, well, let's rest up, try it again tomorrow. We got plenty of supplies, so no big deal there. Let's use a little bit of healing since we have stuff. We have 4. Still, somehow. Doesn't stay around forever, though. Ex-legionnaires, tribesmen dreaming of the city, and a commissioned painter. Alright, one more time into the tower. Pick a direction. Same squad as before. Yeah, you guys are doing okay. Mostly. Ta-da! Okay. Well, this is new. Pushing forward into a new hall through a large double door, you and your Komes begin to explore a multi-leveled study hall. Large spiraled staircases with elegant railings create pathways to the upper levels, where bookcases and glass cabinets await would-be scholars, and at the center of the room is a flight of stairs that comes up from somewhere below out of sight. Exploring for a little while longer, you notice something peculiar about this place. Many of the cases and cabinets seem to have already been ransacked, and recently. Upon reaching this realization, you suddenly hear voices. They seem to be coming from below. You gather your companions and wait near the middle of the room, where three haggard figures eventually emerge from below. A tall bearded man of imperial stock, a lean medium-built Tarkian man wearing a turban, and a fair-skinned blonde woman who looks badly injured. Burns and lacerations cover her skin, marring her otherwise comely exterior. Are you from the surface? The Imperial stutters, his voice lathered with desperation. Please tell us where you are. We have been down here for what feels like an eternity. I don't even know. His voice trails off, and soon he begins to weep softly. At this point, the Tarkian moves to comfort him, and the woman steps in, despite her near-critical state, seemingly determined. Look, we've been down here for weeks trying to find a way back, and we picked up a fair few things. Just here, look, she exclaims, opening and emptying the contents of her satchel on the ground before you. Just take us out of here, and it's yours, all right. We only wish to be free of this place, once and for all. Please, we beg of you, take us back. Shake them down. Agree to escort the troubled trio back to the entrance. Sure. Can we get some stuff? When you announce you will escort them back, the Imperial looks up from his place on the Tarkian's shoulders, his eyes full of tears. You will? He stutters. Praise be, all glory to the triumvirate, he pronounces, his strength seemingly returning. When you hold his gaze, he averts his eyes for a short moment. Uh-oh. Don't mind Albus, stranger, the Tarkian chimes in. He has had a rough time of it, especially after his compatriots fell victim to the strange specters that haunt this place. We are all grateful for your help, and we will see to it that you are rewarded, both by us and the Sadirar shaman we know at the camp. Being in the shaman's good favor is always recommended, I do believe. He says, he smiles, and it feels genuine. The badly wounded blonde woman stumbles forward, and some of your companions move forward to help her. After all is said and done, you begin to head back to the entrance as a group, and you can only hope you remember the way. And you do. Before long, you are making your way back to the surface. Coming up from the depths of the tower... Oh, we've already had that experience. You and your companions do your best to help the desperate trio from below down the sloped dune after you exit the tower, helping the badly injured woman to walk. All three of them blink extensively, the powerful light of the sun blinding them after so much time spent down below. The bearded Imperial Albus still appears visibly shaken. His wounds make the trek forward toward the camp difficult, but he soldiers on. The Tarkian, on the other hand, seems elated despite his injuries. He moves down the sand with lithe grace before stopping and turning to you before you enter the camp proper. Hold, traveler. The camp seems different. Something has changed while we were gone, he says, concern in his voice. Neither your Komes nor you have much to say, for as far as you are concerned, everything is as it was when you left. Before you can reply, however, the bondwoman does so first. It all looks the same to me, Naveed, she rasps, clearly suffering from the relentless heat of the Arenas Vorax and her grievous wounds to boot. When she continues, you notice that she is sweating profusely. Let's just get to some shade, please. I'm not sure I can hold on much longer. Without a word more, Naveed falls silent, and you quicken your pace toward the camp in the search of the shamans. You find them congregating near one of the tribal tents. With their usual hospitality and tranquil manner, the shamans get to the task of first stabilizing the woman, then attending to the wounds of both Albus and Naveed. Aside from the visible gratitude communicated by the diverse trio, few words are exchanged as they are brought back to a reasonable state. You notice, however, that all three eye the shamans suspiciously despite the selfless aid they provide them. After around an hour has passed, the mood changes. The once despondent crew seems to be in higher spirits, and conversation ensues. It is light at first, until eventually the Imperial, having become quite friendly with the Sadirar, asks about recent events. Are they from the past? Or maybe of the future? And what of the war in the north? Last I had heard, Pertuvis's 11th Legion was sent to the aid of the legionnaires currently stationed on Marvada. After a moment of strenuous pause, you inform him that the war he mentioned happened over 300 years ago. Okay, they are from the past. Shocked silence descends upon the group, and for a time no one says anything. Then questions are asked in rapid succession, with both you and the gathered shamans answering where you can. Albus is crestfallen, but he suffers in silence. Naveed, on the other hand, is not. By the eye of Anubis, how can this be so? Over 300 years. But my wife, my boy, my homeland. Does Bereshliet stand? Are the princes still in power? No, it cannot be true. It cannot, he says before falling to his knees and weeping uncontrollably. The woman appears to be lost in thought, a ponderous expression on her face. Laugh at their misfortune. That's so rude. Acknowledge their predicament, reacting diplomatically but realistically. You express your concerns and acknowledge the direness of the situation, consoling members of the trio as much as is appropriate. While the comfort you offer does help somewhat, Naveed and the Imperial are still crushed. When the time comes for the trio to pay their dues, the woman is the only one who seems to be able to converse properly. In fact, she seems to be taking the news surprisingly well, all things considered. Perhaps she is planning her next move and trying to take a logical approach to the unusual circumstances at hand. Whatever the case is, it is her who brings up the matter of coin, and after securing a pouch from the Imperial Albus, "Look, Vagrus, whatever has come to pass, we owe you our lives. I've no doubt that moving forward will be hard, but that's none of your concern," she says, offering you the pouch of valuables they liberated from below. "A piece of parting advice before you go. Do not return to the tower. We sought too much too soon and paid the price. Do not make the same mistake," she says, and her expression grim. "We take the pouch and wish the group the best before being on our way." We don't need the money, so yeah, you guys keep it. Good luck. Huh. What is this? News? Oh, interesting. I didn't know this was even a thing in the game. I thought news was just like something you accrued. All right, they told me not to go back to the tower. I'm gonna go back to the tower one more time. This is for you guys. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on in here. Enter the study halls. Pick a direction. Same crew. They're fully healed this time. Let's hope we find what we're looking for. Keep exploring. Aha! The next room you enter does not share the tower's uniform subtle colors, but rather it appears as a resplendent chamber that sprawls out beyond your vision. In the middle of it is a great alchemical laboratory surrounded by overgrowing plants, vines, and other flora. What is more, certain leaves and sections of the vast foliage before you have taken on a fluorescent glow, presumably due to their contact with potions or other alchemical substances that abound here. You and your komes comb the area vigilantly. At length you collectively come to the conclusion that there is a lot to be salvaged here, provided, naturally, that you have the alchemical and herbal knowledge to make your time here count. We have a very high chance. We have a lot of herb lore and a lot of alchemy. We succeeded. Moving with great efficiency and knowledge of the surrounding materials, you and your komes set yourself to the task of salvaging herbs with great vigor. It is a collaborative effort, and you lead the charge. In the end, the haul you take from the lab is considerable indeed. Eventually, you decide to get a move on. 9 herbs, 9 bogweed, and some alchemical tools. We will not be trapped. We did not get trapped, thank God. I think I read somewhere that all of the traps in the tower are an instant death. So let's elect them move forward. We are still in control. We didn't get trapped again. Continue to travel further. We're still confident, so we can keep going. Aha! Okay. Stepping into a study of sorts, the tidiness of the place strikes you immediately. The tower's pennant depicting the Eye of Icarius is mounted on the wall, underneath which you see an orderly desk. On the wall to the left, there are books in alphabetical order lined up on multiple shelves, with the tome's color different in each row. The old relief covering the right hand wall, however, is partially collapsed, but you spot a map in the parts still intact. The unbelievably detailed chart that was depicted is mostly ruined by the destruction. Yet its remains bits seems to show districts of the sunken tower. Ooh, that could be useful. Pulling out the top drawer of the desk reveals the ledgers of the university, while the middle drawer holds various documents on the students' curriculum and evaluation processes. The bottom drawer does not open. All clues point to this place being a superintendent's study. Let's inspect the damaged map. We succeeded. Despite the damaged chart being in very poor condition, you managed to make out the layouts of the lecture halls as well as the dormitories, both symmetrical and orderly to the point of beauty. It will not be very useful, however, considering the fact the interior of the tower is now twisting and ever-shifting. Fair enough. But we did get some insight, which is useful. Let's take a better look around. You expected the superintendent's quarters to be somewhat more embellished. Surely such a high and decorated office of the tower would warrant a study that adequately reflects the high position associated with it. Yet the official working here had apparently been very prudent about their considerations when outfitting this place, as aesthetics and grandeur were all but sacrificed in the favor of pragmatism and utility. Save for the pennant mounted on the wall, of course, but even that does not seem profoundly proclaiming the school's glory. It merely acts as a solemn acknowledgement of allegiance and duty. Then you peek through a small door that leads to a small, mostly collapsed side chamber of shelves and compartments filled with moldy scrolls. You have a hunch that something might not be what it seems here. Let's try to find what it could be. We succeeded. After straining efforts, you managed to overcome the enchantment concealing something intriguing. A large piece of marble in the wall turns out to be illusory. Once you prod it, it fades to reveal a deep compartment with glowing glyphs adorning its walls. At the far end, just at arm's length is a bundle of cloth behind a force field. You can sense that the glyphs are wards holding the magical shield in place. Let's try to dispel the glyphs, and let's use a little bit of our stuff to boost our chance. We cursed our luck. I was so ready to gather whatever it was. No matter how hard you try or what spell you attempt to use, the compartment remains sealed. As aggravating as it is, you have spent too much precious time on your attempts. You need to return some other time to find a way to counter the sorcery involved here. For that, of course, you will need to find this place again. Damn. Oh, rats. I think that's what we needed to find. Oh, I'm so upset. Can we go talk to the cartographer? Nope. I was going to tell him I found a map, but he doesn't seem to care. All right, we still have a little bit of time. Let's try one more time to go into the tower, and maybe we can find that room again. Oh, I'm so upset. We had a very high chance, too, and we botched it. Oops, I left the tower entirely. Back into the tower. Study hall. Same crew. In we go. Explore. Brace yourself for combat. Rats. We got away with no combat last time. More energy balls. Ooh, good shot. Try to finish him off. Try to finish him off. Dang it. He's back at the back too, so I can't hit him back there. Oh, we left two of them on 1 HP. Rough. Oh, he blew himself up. I didn't know he could do that. Poke him to death. There we go. He pulled a Geodude from Pokemon. Hit self-destruct button. Didn't even do that much damage. Keep exploring. Explore deeper. We're still in control. Counter the attack. Ooh, 2 mages and a sword boy this time. Evade. I'm so upset. Oh, and then you right into a crit. Fantastic. I'm so upset we didn't get the ward on the very high chance. I could have boosted it further, and I honestly, considering that probably was what we were after, I should have done that. But alas. Hindsight is 20/20 and all that. Ah, you evasion goon. Goodbye. Yeah, don't ever come in here without the blessing of unbinding. Sidarius is so helpful for that. Not having to get that at like a city and then bring it with you. Super useful. Continue? Aha! We're back in the hidden compartment. Sure. Yeah. Oh, dang. I thought they would just let me look at the glyphs again. We succeeded. All right. This time, we're going all in. Yes! It worked! The glyphs in the magical shield evaporate like a puddle of water in the scorching desert sun. I can't believe we found this place so quickly again. You are about to reach in to retrieve the bundle when an electric crackling of arcane energies behind you announces the appearance of floating orbs of pure arcane energy. They were undoubtedly summoned here to try to stop you from taking your prize. Ready yourself for battle. Oh, there's a big orb. What are you? I can't tell. He's got twice the vitality, though. Begin fight. Thank goodness for not glitching out on me. Prime Superintendents. This one's Custodia. I understand. Okay. Do we focus fire the big boy, or do we just take out his little cronies? I think I've answered my own question by that first action of mine. I've been threat assessed and then bolted. Let's throw down our ward. All 4 of them are in a nice convenient spot. They were at one point. Sidarius, go ahead and boost yourself. We're gonna have a couple rounds of this combat, I have a feeling. Rude! Shoot him. That's right. Take 14 damage, you beastie. I've been rammed. He's dead. Can I stun these guys? Nope. I didn't think you could stun a ghost or whatever they are, to be honest. Did some damage, that's good. They keep bolting us. At least they're fairly weak. All said and done. I've been evaded. Dislike. Alright, that guy's dead. Why don't you get back to the front, Elani? Doesn't really matter, but... Let's keep trading spots. Alright, that one's dead. They do seem to have, like, fire resistance or something, because Nadir's not doing that much damage to them. I also don't know if her ward is actually hurting them either. Is it because they float? They're not standing on the ward? The sorceress guardians of this place are unrelenting in their duty to protect it. Nevertheless, you and your komis are putting up a valiant fight and eventually vanquish the orbs. You can finally take a look at the contents of the bundle to see what the fuss is about. Inside the cloth are a handful of stone tablets and arcane scrolls, along with quite an unremarkable book. It bears no etchings or other decoration. The only marking on the cover is the initials of the owner. It's the journal! NS. On the insides it says, the property of Narma Sejana! Exclamation mark. This is the diary you've been looking for. You leaf through it and immediately strikes you as the flawless script it's been written in. The superintendent liked her letters neat and pretty. As you go through the pages, you read her entries, grumbling about lazy students and having altercations with certain instructors. You turn to the last pages, which were dated to the final few weeks before the calamity. Some entries describe signs and portents indicating the shape of things to come. We will keep on reading. You can tell that she was afraid when she wrote these entries, yet she remained quite unforthcoming about the details and whatever interpretations she may have heard. The last entry was written 2 days before the calamity struck. The penultimate entry, however, speaks of a hidden corridor from which students were barred. It had been sealed as part of protective wards against the chaos caused by the dramatically intensifying anomalous occurrences plaguing the entire continent outside. A complex word of power that needs to be spoken to unmake the seal is spelled out on the diary's page. Narma also alleges the other similar seals can be opened by this same word due to the hurry the mages were in when placing them. You have what you came for. Yes! Back to the service. But ways without incident. Return to the Comitatus. Awesome! We claimed the diary. Neat. Now we just need to find the spell of opening. I think we still need to do that before we can, like... I'm not sure. I guess, yeah, feel free to chime in the comments if you feel like, would you like to see more of the tower? Or would you like to take a break from the tower and go back and check in on our salt post and then do some intercontinental trading? Let me know what you think. Otherwise, if you guys enjoyed the video, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of Vagrus the Riven Realms or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. That also helps me out a lot. Make sure your notifications are on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.